In 1991, Nike pushed the boundaries of visible air with the Air Max 180, creating a cushioning system that stretched to the edges and bottom of a shoe. In 2018, they've returned in the classic Ultramarine colorway. Let's take a look. Hey all, what is up? Reese here. I've got a brand new sneaker review to bring you. What we're looking at today is the Nike Air Max 180 in the OG Ultramarine colorway. The colors listed on the box are white, ultramarine, and solar red, and these returned on February 2nd, 2018 with a retail price of $130. Now as you're watching this review, I'd love for you to leave a comment down below and just let me know what you think about this shoe and also how they stack up for you against some of the other releases we're seeing heading into Air Max Day 2018. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. And finally, if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with all of my latest videos. Despite the fact that it was introduced more than 30 years ago, Nike's Visible Air or Air Max technology remains incredibly relevant today. We still see plenty of new models debuting with the cushioning technology, and that's for both activewear as well as for lifestyle use. And it's really a testament to the way that Air has been able to evolve. It's something that doesn't stay static, and Nike's engineers are constantly looking for ways to better implement it on a shoe, which is why it's been able to stick around for so long. Now, the Air Max 180 was really the first Air Max shoe to feature an evolution over that initial airbag that was introduced with the Air Max 1. This shoe debuted in 1991 as the Air 180 and was designed by the powerhouse duo of Tinker Hatfield and Bruce Kilgore. As I mentioned, it was the first serious evolution of the Air Max design over what was introduced with the Air Max 1 and then increased in size a little bit on the Air Max 90. And the big difference here was that they were able to expand the size of the bag and get it closer to the edges of the shoe on the side, and then most importantly, down to the outsole here on the bottom. Basically, all they did here was bond some urethane to the bottom of that air unit so that there was a little more durability and traction, but other than that, you've just got the air unit touching the ground, and that was a big departure from the fully encased unit that was seen on the Air Max 1 and the Air Max 90. Now, the entire evolution of Air Max has really been to kind of do two things, and that's increase the amount of air and reduce the amount of other things necessary. So, of course, the goal has always been to get a bigger bag in terms of overall volume, in terms of full length of the shoe, and then along with that to reduce the amount of foam and other materials that are required to get kind of that more pure Air Max implementation. We've seen a lot of iterations over the years, but this was kind of an important first step in doing some of that, getting a little bit of a different shape and just kind of doing something different than just having that air unit inside of there, which is what makes these so cool today. As far as the colorway is concerned, like I said, this is an OG colorway and it's by far the most iconic. It's the colorway that people think of when they think of this shoe. I've wanted these for a while, and so I was really happy to see Nike bring them back. And from what I can tell, they're in pretty good OG form. I don't see a lot that stands out, although of course I haven't actually seen a pair of the OGs before. Now, the last time we saw this colorway was back in 2013, but the one thing that I really didn't like about that release was it was a vintage release from Nike, and they went through a period where they did a lot of those where basically they would take one of their retro models, give it an original colorway, and then actually pre-yellow the midsole to give it a look like it was actually an old shoe, one that had been around for a while, one that could be original. And I have no problem with my soles yellowing, but that's something that I'd like to do myself, and so I like that they were able to bring it back this year in kind of proper OG form with all of the correct coloring, so that if these do yellow, and well, when they do yellow, it's something that's happened because I've had them and I've enjoyed them for a while. With all that said, we can dive now into a close-up view where we'll take a look at the colors, materials, and everything going on with this sneaker. Getting into the shoe, we've got a few different materials on the upper. You've got nylon here at the top of the toe. In white, we can see that along the side as well, and then also here at the top of the heel and the collar. On top of that, you've got this kind of slightly off-white suede wrapping around the edge of the toe box, coming up the side of the shoe. You can see it forming the eyelets right there, and then wrapping around the heel. Nike Air is stitched in there in solar red. You've got your heel counter, which is a rubbery TPU, also done in solar red. Along the side, you've got a swoosh in synthetic leather. Now that's the ultramarine color, and I'd never really paid much attention to it, but in person, it's a really interesting color. It's basically a dark blue with a little bit of purple. I love how it looks, especially with the solar red. These definitely have a very nice kind of 90s vibe, which makes sense because they were released in 1991. You've got this plastic netting or mesh right there on the side. You've got that kind of underneath the swoosh on both sides. Fairly normal, just flat white laces. And then the tongue is a white neoprene that's incredibly stretchy. It really hugs your foot well when you get these laced up. I love this 180 Air logo there at the top of the tongue in solar red. You've got ultramarine stitching around the edge of the tongue. Looking inside the shoe real quick, you've got a solar red insole with Nike International branding in blue and white. You've got ultramarine for the sock liner as well. Looking at the midsole for the front, you've just got a white foam that kind of wraps around here to the heel where you've got 180 embossed right there. There's some solar red accenting around the air unit, and then of course your clear air unit right there with white Air Max columns inside. If we look at the outsole now, you've got some rubber up at the toe in ultramarine, and you've got the waffle pattern on this kind of glossy black section through kind of the forefoot into the midfoot. On either side of the air unit, you've got these solar red sections and then some traditional black rubber here at the heel. And of course here we've got that glorious air unit that extended all the way to the outsole. You can see the translucency. We'll get up close and you can look at that urethane layer that's bonded there just for some added durability and traction, but there is no foam, so it's really that air unit that's actually contacting the ground. With all that said, that's going to wrap it up for our review of the Nike Air Max 180 in the OG Ultramarine colorway. If you haven't already, be sure to let me know what you think of these down in the comments below. And with all that said, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.